Do you like hard-boiled detection with postmodern themes and references to other literature as well as religions and philosophies? Then let's look at The City of Glass by Paul Auster. First of all, I just want to say that if you're going to read this story, you have to read both versions of that story. This is because the graphic novel version, which is this version here, in my opinion is more three-dimensional than the original, allowing you to understand some of the concepts in the novel version better because of the drawings, of the way it's structured. It allows you to understand some of the concepts and some of the themes a lot better, and also allows you to understand what's going on, especially in some of the scenes. Yeah, definitely check out The City of Glass, graphic novel, and also the New York Trilogy, which contains The City of Glass and 2 other stories as well. First of all, the themes of the story. There's language and the process of discovery with language. One of the primary focuses of the story is reconciling the meaning of the language. Auster tackles language and philosophy with finesse in this story. He references other literatures and other philosophies and proponents of these kinds of ideas, such as Heisenberg and Berkeley, asking the primary question, how can we name something that changes? But if we don't name something, does it exist?
We all die, but do we really die?
What is that?
Something Tommy taught me. Never stop questioning the nature of reality.
I know you're questioning the nature of reality, but are you really questioning it?
Now you're getting it.
I am getting it. But am I really getting it?
That's enough now.
It is enough. But is it really enough?
The story follows Daniel Quinn, ironically a hard-boiled detective writer himself, while he's walking throughout New York City trying to uncover this mystery that he gets involved in by accident. It all began with a mistaken phone call. A mistaken phone call who's looking for a real detective in the story by the name of Paul Auster, which does get confusing from basically the beginning of the story, since the name of the author is Paul Auster, but this is why there's a lot of postmodern themes in relation to real life. There are a lot of blurred boundaries between who the writer is, who the characters are. There's a lot of duality as well. There's a lot of copies of many of the characters, like for example there's 2 writers, there's 2 detectives, there's 2 fathers in the novel, there's a lot of duality. So when he gets involved in this mistaken investigation at the beginning and he takes on this identity of Paul Auster, this is the beginning of a downward spiral of adopting different identities. The message in this is also conveying the fragility of the human condition, because many of the characters in the novel, spoiler, kind of, go missing, or do they? And this fragility of the human condition, these disappearances, are all involved with language, and they are all brought about by language and this dark, mystifying power that is in language. Also, it can be a difficult story to understand, because there are a multitude of different references to different works of fiction, religion, philosophy, and it's definitely a work of fiction. It's definitely a story which needs multiple reads, because as you read it, as you understand more references, as you are more well read, you will understand these references more and you'll see how carefully crafted the story really is. I've read the story, the graphic novel version and the normal version, about 8 times now, and each time I've always taken something away or been slightly confused by something, and it's given me this drive to want to understand, ironically, the language in it, which is part of the story, understanding language and the meaning of language and the transformative power of language and the meaning that has changed, especially if you know the story of the Tower of Babel. Humanity losing this perfect language created by God that everybody understood, everybody could communicate, and the punishment obviously being everybody has their own language, and the meanings, the cultural connotations, everything is just, again, it's an amazing book. Definitely recommend to check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below for both books on Amazon in the US and the UK. Otherwise, I hope that this video is really interesting and hopefully it's introduced you to a story that you haven't heard of before. If you have, great, let me know how it is in the comments below. Also, are you a fan of Paul Auster? If you do, is there any books that you really like by him, or any stories specifically? And again, just give me a mini review, tell me why, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. Again, if you have read the story, let me know in the comments. Is there anything you think I've missed? Is there anything that you think would be interesting to read in regards to wider reading to understand the story better? And also, if you like this video, please like it and please put a comment in the description in the comments box thingy-majig below, and also subscribe so you don't miss any regular content. We'll be uploading every Tuesday with some extra videos every now and then. Also, my book is now available. It has been for the past week or so. Please check it out. You can read the first 2 chapters on my website danielfryer.com for free. Otherwise, you can find links for my book below. Have a nice day, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.